Hello and welcome to our last live of the year. Can you believe it?
Can you
I'm Lucy.
believe it? Hi there, and I'm Natasha Harris. I'm very excited to be here. We've been absent for a couple of weeks, but hopefully you've been able to catch the replays. I'm very excited about today's topic. And yeah, I'm just going to share this out to a few pages and see you in a sec.
Welcome to the last one of the year. We hope you had a wonderful winter solstice. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, which is what we're going to be talking about today, really, on Tuesday, and hope you're looking forward to the festive season as well. So we're really excited about today's topic, staying in the light over the winter months, because I actually did a healing session in our Circle Light Movement community about the winter solstice and about having to keep your internal flames going, the light going in the darker months, the winter months, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. And so we've got some practical tips for you today on how to do that. And also, I think just bringing some awareness to it, because I think sometimes when we go into winter, we need to look at our mindset and our energy for that. And sometimes you need a bit more nurturing in winter than you do in the summer months when the sun's shining. So we're going to be talking into a bit of that. I'm just going to share it out to some of my pages. And Natasha, if you want to take over.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a really, I think, such an important topic to think about, like how we can stay in the light over the winter months and not keep going hard at it before Christmas, which is only a couple of days away. For those of you that are celebrating it and spending it with family, how we can really stay in the light. And it's like the sprinkle of light, I like to think about it. It's not really going at things really hard, like really, foot down on the accelerator with things. It's about easing it up, about stepping a little bit back, about taking a bit of a break and allowing that light to come through, because it can feel quite dark. It's dark, it's cold, it's a little bit like wintry here I'm in London in the UK. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, I know if you're Southern Hemisphere, this probably will make no sense to you, but bear with us because it is important. Over these, we've just had the shortest day of the year. And now it's like, oh, wow, okay, it's great. I feel very excited about the days getting a bit longer and allowing more of that light in now. And it has felt like a really, really powerful portal way into things, over the winter solstice on the 21st, a couple of days ago. I really had a very powerful experience over that day. And it was, really feeling much lighter as a result, and, allowing ourselves to step through something as we head into 2022, which is going to be an incredibly exciting year ahead. Even if we don't quite feel it just yet, I do believe that next year is going to be full of new, exciting experiences and rewriting the paradigm. So wherever you're joining from, do say hello, leave us a comment. If you're watching the replay, type #replay. Let us know how you're experiencing the light right now. Do you feel like you are plunged into darkness, or do you feel that there is some light that you're kind of sprinkling around, sowing some seeds that will stay dormant for a little while? Let us know how you're doing.
Yeah, so I feel like for what normally most people are excited about Christmas, so I want to talk about January because they call it the January blues. So what I feel is like, rather than going in with that mindset of the January blues is just not going to work for you. But rather than that, what can you do to celebrate? So I know for me, I have pine cones. I make it a ritual. I have cut branches off my real Christmas tree and I make them into an arrangement. And I bring winter, I bring the seasons into my house and my home. Like I have sort of seasonal festive trees and smells in my essences as well that I put in a diffuser as well. And we have the fire on. So it's like, how can you do these little rituals? How can you celebrate the winter to keep the internal flame going? So what I mean by the internal flame is I feel that we've all got a divine spark within us. And the winter solstice, sorry, is about celebrating that spark and fanning it, if you like a flame, to keep you going to Imbolc. Imbolc is the return of the Light Festival, which normally falls on the first new moon in February. So next year is going to be on the 1st of February. And so when we return to the light, so how can you keep going in the January months? And it could be practical. It could be like, I take extra vitamin D when because we've not had sun. I've not had sun here for where I am for about 2 weeks, and it's not going to be sun for another 2 weeks. So it's like I take vitamin D. Could be exercising. It could be getting out and going for a walk. It could be taking nice hot baths. What makes you feel warm and cozy? Could even be like nice jumpers. I love a good winter jumper, and Natasha's modeling one now. So yeah, it's like, what can you do to make you feel good in these winter months and not, I'm going to say it, not succumb to any of probably the external chaos that might be going on. You've got to go within and fan those fires and do what feels good for you, not what you're being told to do or what people think you should do. It's like, what feels good to you? If that's going for a walk with a hat and wrapping up warm, do it. Do it. Get out the house.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's really coming back to the stillness within and really seeing, what do you want? I've been talking about this a lot this week with clients and, through with people as well, is really, there's so much confusion out there. There is this chaos energy, but there's also confusion. No one really knows what to do for the best or what to do. And it's like, when we're in chaos and when we're in confusion, it's very difficult for us to make a decision. Confusion stops us from really making a decision and making a profound, powerful choice that's aligned to us. And so that's why it's so important that if you're feeling that way, that you can come back to, well, what, as Lucy says, what's the fire within me? What do I choose? What do I desire? And for me, it's definitely getting out for a walk. It's definitely, being connected with nature. It's about slowing down. It's about real self-care. It's around connecting with the slowing down elements, but keeping that magic alive, as I said, because we feel like sometimes if we want amazing magical results, we have to go at things really hard, but actually it's the lighter energy, it's the holding things lightly and shining and allowing that inner flame to come through, that actually does create those magical moments, those real kind of, because that's when we're aware, that's when we're connected, that's when we are really present to what's going on, how we feel about things, how we are responding to things or reacting to things. And I think that that's also really important to recognize, how are you reacting, how are you responding to certain situations outside of yourself, and how do you remain true to yourself throughout that? Who do you want to be within that?
Yeah, and I really want to go back to what you said about the stillness within. And I feel that I love winter, because it is this opportunity. I see it as an invitation to go within, because it's cold outside in the external. So why not go within and see what's going on? And I think in that stillness and finding that peace within you, you can heal things as well. I think it's a great opportunity, as Natasha said, to slow down, heal things, and reassess, reflect on things, especially in January. January, I don't do any promotion because I like January, the whole month, to reflect on what last year brought me, what I would like to change. And I like to do it in a slow pace and then set myself up for the next year, but not in an afternoon or over a couple of hours. It's an entire year. So it's like it deserves our time, our attention, feeling into it, and really truly giving yourself the gift of reflection, especially because it has been a chaotic year. It's been an uncertain year again. So it's like, what would you like to do different? Maybe someone needs to hear this. Maybe you need to start making your happiness a priority. And why don't you set that intention? January, it's like, right, okay, I'm going to set the intention that the priority for me this year is my happiness. Because I think a lot of us have got so bogged down in the external chaos, the external unhappiness and misery, if I'm going to be honest, that like, how are you going to see the light in that? The
Yeah.
way you see the light in that is you go within and you do things that make you feel good. You do things that nourish you and your soul and your beautiful body. I mean, if there's anything that, well, one of the many things perhaps COVID has, I'm trying to choose my words, taught us, it is about looking after yourself and your health, because it impacts the lungs, right? Which is all about freedom and expansion. So it's like, what can you do to have a healthier, joyous, happier new year? Like a whole new year.
Yeah.
And how does that start? It starts with your mindset. It starts with setting the intention. It starts with reflecting on what hasn't worked for you. And the thing is, you can keep this private. You don't have to share it with anyone. You can keep it private. But like, that would be my invitation to you, is to use this time. And I also feel that the reason I have January is because I feel Christmas and New Year is quite a hectic time in itself. If you're seeing family, buying presents, you know, things do ramp up, but it's in your personal life. It could be in your business as well.
Yeah.
So January is such a beautiful invitation to invite ritual in, like invite things that make you feel good in, and slow down and take some time. Yeah, and do what you want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is absolutely vital, isn't it? And, you know, putting ourselves first. I mean, like, how often do we do that? It's become a priority for me to really put myself first. And what do I need? What do I need in order to thrive and to be loving life and my happiness for things? And we've often told how selfish that is, or we feel very selfish if we put ourselves first, because we've been taught to really put others before our own needs. And that's really the wrong way round to do things. And I think that when we can really be in this space of like overflowing, then we have so much more to give. And it starts with really looking after ourselves. And what it really reminded me of as Lucy was talking is, what's the word that you want to embody for next year? And that's something I've been really thinking about, actually. It's like, because it really gives me this energy of, this is how I want to show up to everything in my life next year. How do I want to show up to in my relationships, in my friendships, in my business, in my collaboration with Lucy, in the Circle of Light movement? How do I want to show up for that? And for me, it's about having fun. It's about enjoying things, even when things are challenging. We can still experience those. We can feel the challenge, we can feel the disappointment, we can feel the excruciating pain of something not going right, a failure, but it's never a failure. Go back and listen to one of our previous ones. I'm sure we've talked about failures not being mistakes. There's always something to learn around that. But like, how do you show up with that, and to really learn something, to hold it lightly, to still really have the fun around the learning that you will experience through the challenge, no matter how hard or difficult it is. There have been things that have been thrown in my path this year, and I've really sort of lent into looking at them differently, as like, how is this like contributing to my expansion and my growth, not to let me shrink and to shy away and to feel that disappointment and then to be too afraid to step back into it. And it takes a long while for that confidence to come back, to actually be in that space of, I'm okay. I'm really, truly okay. And I can still be everything that I am, regardless of what's going on. So what is the word that you want to embody for yourself through everything you show up to? Like, who do you want to be in those situations when you're having a difficult conversation with someone? Who do you actually want to be in that?
Yeah, and I think also if you want more than one words, then
Yeah, you can
I
have
think I'll
more than
put
one
three
word
for
for
this
sure,
year. I
for
think I'll put
sure.
two for next year.
Maybe not to have too many, because then actually you might get a bit of overwhelm. Which one am I going to be today? But you can be definitely more. But it's around really committing to, I think, and I feel, is committing to something, saying, I'm going to try and show up in this way to most of the things that the most of the things that I'm going to do throughout the year. And we get it right, we get it wrong, we do it, we forget, it's all fine, it's all perfect, it doesn't matter. But it's really about making that commitment, that setting that intention for yourself that you are going to try. And even if you do it a few times where you would never have done it in the past, you are making progress to step into and embody that energy and that frequency and that vibration of that lighter energy, regardless of what's going on. I think that's really what
Yeah, and I think the word there is embody. Like, how can you embody something, integrate it into your life, into
great. I like that.
yourself? Also, I just wanted to speak to, because I just recently worked with this energy of pine, and pine is I found this out recently. Pine is a really good scent, or I use it in essential oil to help you. It's for people that feel like they're never doing enough, like they're never what they've like. They might have had some success, but it's not enough. Like, and they constantly beat themselves up, and they also take responsibility for other people's um things that other person needs to take responsibility for. So I would look at sort of to help you as well in the winter months. If there is any things like this, if you've got any attachments to any things, then I'm big on smells anyway, like sensual smells, but like I would really love, like, invite you to look at sort of healing in that way. Like, where can you buy some essential oils that can help you and your body and your mind move on? Maybe you want to invite more peace into your life, whatever it might be. And as Natasha mentioned, it's about setting the intention as well. So it might be that you need to burn some things up. So it might be that you need to write out some things that didn't work for you this year and then set light to them, so that you create, what that does is that energetically creates space for you to then invite in what you do want. A word of caution: if you do decide to do this, make sure you're clear on what you are inviting in, because if
Yes,
you're wishy-washy about what you're inviting in, then you'll get wishy-washy results from
be
the
very
universe.
specific.
So when you do say, that's not working for me anymore, that's not serving me anymore, that's dimming my light, dimming my internal light, or stopping my happiness, what would you rather have? What would you like to invite in instead? Um, and yeah, like I said, essential oils, I feel it are a great um, asset to help us get in the headspace as well, because smells remind us of things. So bringing in smells of essential oils can really help you to move through or move on from something as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. There are so many different things. And I think it is really, again, coming back to, it's like, what are you guided to do? What feels good for you? What feels
Mm.
aligned for you? What feels like what do you feel you need right now, through the winter months, through the darker days, through the more challenging times, if you're experiencing that. And if you're feeling light and you're feeling amazing, then keep riding that, keep expanding on that, keep doing what you're doing, but notice what you're doing. What are you doing that's keeping you in that vibe, in that light? And when you experience it, if you're feeling more in the darkness, but you suddenly feel, oh yeah, that feeling of lightness has just come back to me. Notice what you're doing and how you're showing up differently to help you embody more of that. Because with clarity, with understanding, with awareness, we can create more of it. If we don't know what we're doing, we're just kind of randomly flip-flopping between different things. We never know what to do, and it's all a bit random, and then we get random results, we get chaotic results as well. So it's really around creating that level of awareness for yourself, You know, if you're not feeling like you're in the light, what do you need? And if you are feeling in it, what are you doing? What is creating that for you? That feeling inside, that warm glow of winter, you know, because it might be sitting around a fire, it might be, you know, chatting and playing games around the fire, it might be, you know, connecting with friends, whatever that is, you know, really connecting with that. So that's, I think, really, you know, what I feel that just feels really pertinent right now as we come into Christmas, we come up towards the end of the year, and we're starting to already feel and invite. Now the days are getting longer. Feel and invite more light in. Feel and invite and set intentions for 2022. It is going to be a powerful year. It's how we choose to navigate around it that's going to make it even more powerful for you as an individual, I feel.
Yeah, and we've got some exciting plans for the Circle of Light movement community next year
Yeah.
that we've just been chatting about. So we can't wait to share all those with you. And if you are watching, if you watching the replay and have any questions, then please let us know. Tag us, and we'll respond to you. And have a lovely, lovely Christmas and New Year.
Happy Christmas, everybody, and can't wait to see you in 2022. Bye for now.